In the Gospel of Luke, the 2nd chapter, verses 1 through 7. In those days, a decree went out from Emperor Augustus that all the world should be registered. This was the first registration and was taken while Quirinius was governor of Syria. All went to their own towns to be registered. Joseph also went from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea, to the city of David called Bethlehem, because he was a descendant from the house and family of David. He went to be registered with Mary, to whom he was engaged and who was expecting a child. While they were there, the time came for her to deliver her child. And she gave birth to her firstborn son, and wrapped him in bands of cloth, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room or place for them in the inn. As I was thinking about the scripture this morning and thinking about what would I say on Christmas morning that would maybe be different than Christmas Eve or maybe unique. And what I began to think about was, we all love a good love story, don't we? We all love watching movies, right? We all love seeing two people fall in love, right? The joy, the excitement, the freshness, right, in their face. They love that, don't they? Right? So I was thinking about movies that we watch. One channel's like the Hallmark channel. Have you ever watched the Hallmark channel here? I know there are some of you, right? I've heard you talk about it. We love watching those movies on Hallmark channel, those love stories, don't we? Right? I was thinking of two movies that really exemplify this love story business. One of them was the Titanic. Have you seen the Titanic? Two people, Jack and I can't remember her name, Rose, yeah. Jack and Rose, they fell in love while on this boat, and I won't tell the end of the story, because it's sad, right? I was thinking of another one. Have anyone seen The Notebook? Yeah. The Notebook, okay, that's a love story, right? It's a really romantic movie, but what other movies do we love that are love stories? So are there any other movies that we love?
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast. Classic, right? What else?
Dr. Zhivago.
51st Dates.
51st Dates, yeah. Any other movies?
Dr. Zhivago.
I have never seen that one.
Oh, shame on you.
What other ones?
White Christmas.
White Christmas?
Or It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a wonderful life. Yeah. Or even The Sound of Music, right?
Sound of Music.
That's a beautiful love story, right? So I was thinking, okay, so we know these movies that we love, but then I think there are television shows and even some books. You know, those romantic novels that people like to read. And the only author I know, I've never read any of these books, but the only author I know is Nicholas Sparks. Right? So some people know there's Nicholas Sparks. Are there any other authors or books that have love stories in them? Do you have them? Who was that? Carrie Kingsbury? Okay, I've never heard of that. I won't read it, but let me know what you read, right? Any others that we read through books? What was that? Beverly Lewis, yeah.
Sidney Woodsmall.
Sidney Woodsmall. Okay, so there are these love stories that we love to watch on television. There are love stories that we love to read. There's also love stories that we like to sing, don't we, right? And it's the Christmas holiday. And there are plenty of love songs for Christmas, right? Like, all I want for Christmas is you, right? That one? Okay, or, baby, it's cold outside, right? Right? What other Christmas songs are there that we love to sing? That deal with love? Winter Wonderland, yes. What else? That's right. Oh, that's right. Is there any others?
White Christmas.
Oh, chestnuts. Oh, gosh. Okay, let's move on quickly before we all get hung up in there. But there are these love songs that we love to sing. We love to watch them. We love to read them. And now we love to sing them. And so, as most of you know, I proposed to Hannah this week. And she said yes. And it was really great. And I'm grateful for that.
That private offering paid off.
Yeah, thank you. You all contributed to that. Thank you, Mark, for bringing that to my attention. But I had this moment to publicly declare in front of her and the world that I was now committing myself to just her. for the rest of my life, right? And so I'll show you two photos because I'm a really nice pastor, and I knew it when I see two photos. So here's one, right. This was a reenactment, I'll tell you. We had a photographer, I had a friend there to take photos, and we reenacted this. So that's where I was. I'll tell you, I am on ice skates. And so I got down on one knee and up on one knee in ice skates without breaking a bone. and then you can go to the next photo. And then it's just a photo of us, and you can kind of see the sparkle of the...
Where is that?
That's in Rockville, outside of D.C. So we had special moments there. Even though we had been dating for a long time, and the love story between Hannah and I would probably say it was great, and I could tell it over and over. And even though this was something that was very memorable for me, right? As I thought this week, this still isn't the greatest love story I've ever read, ever heard, ever talked about. This is great, right? I will remember this forever. And those who propose, you will remember those moments, those special moments. But still, that's not the greatest love story I've ever read. I think the greatest love story is when Jesus came to earth in the form of a baby. That is the greatest love story that we create. I'm going to tell this story now, probably a bunch this week with family, probably a bunch the next couple of months. But there's going to be a time in my life where I stop telling the story. But there's one story that I'll never stop telling. Year after year on Christmas, I'm going to tell the story of Jesus. Right? And I think that God was just so filled with love and relationship. I think God was just overflowing in that love that God decided to send Jesus on to earth. I think it came from an act of love, an act of relationship. And God came down, and Emmanuel, God being with us, was born. And so we tell that story over and over. A scripture passage I actually used during my proposal. You can tell the pastor that I used a scripture passage during my proposal. But a scripture passage I did use that was really meaningful to me were these words from the book of 1 John chapter 4. We love because God first loved us. We love because God first loved us. Dear friends, let's love each other because love is from God, and everyone who loves is born from God and knows God. The person who doesn't love does not know God because God is love. If God is love, if God, the being out there, is love, then the God who came in the form of a baby named Jesus is love. That baby named Jesus is just filled with love for its entire life. And we know that Jesus is still alive. And so that love is continuing over and over and over. We know how to love because God first loved us. And when did we learn how to love? When did we learn how to love our family and our friends? How did I learn how to love Diane and Amy? How did spouses begin to love one another? How did we begin to love our cars or our houses or our cats, right? How did all of that love begin? When did that begin?
With Jesus.
When Jesus. When Jesus showed up in a manger to Mary and Joseph. Two random, ordinary people who are pretty incredible. That's when love showed up. So all I want us to do in this moment is just to reflect upon that love. How are you embracing that love today? How do you feel that love from Jesus today? And how does that love that began in a manger influence every relationship we have in our church, outside of our church, in our workplace, anywhere? How does the love, the greatest love story that we'll tell over and over, how does that influence